Hello, Stephanie. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Lusambo? It's actually good to know that you are also logged on to Money FM radio. And so, if you are joining us, you are listening to Money FM radio. And of course, this is accounting and business. On the other side, it is Mr. Lusambo. We have an interesting topic even today. So, we encourage you to come through on 077 We also do encourage you to send those comments on the comment section. So today we actually do have a very good topic. We are looking at how to stand out at a place of work, both as an employee and as a business leader. That, of course, happens to be our topic for the day. We do have two speaking points, but for now, just know that it's how to stand out. You can as well just begin to send us those comments. What is your smartest way of standing out, even in school? Right, Mr. Luzambo? I think at
Yeah,
every
yeah.
point of life. Yeah.
Yes, I get your point. Yeah.
Yes. So as we continue our discussion, we'll look at leveraging your human capital. We'll also get to look at the effects of the weakening kwacha and what to do about it. People have got predictions that the dollar will reach 20 very soon. And I think I've seen different reactions from people. Others are worried about it. Should we be worried, Mr. Lusambo?
Yes, the dollar has beaten the kwacha for over 101 days now. So for about 101 days, we have seen the kwacha being beaten every single day. And today we expect the fuel pump prices to go up, but because the kwacha has not really saved us from the stronger dollar, which is always beating up the kwacha. So now our people should know what to do, what to expect, and also what not to do, where to put their monies and where not to put their monies. But because we have seen in the recent past that it's been now 102 days of the kwacha being beaten every single day by the dollar. All right. Now, what that
Mm.
means, it means we are going to have imports are going to be expensive. I just bought something 2 weeks ago from the US, and just the amount that I could have bought it at 100 days ago, it was almost half, but I bought almost at double the price. But because the kwacha has weakened so bad, so now when you have increased expense on imports, it's going to affect the businesses. All right, so things are going to be more expensive for us to be able to import and sell here, but because our people here will not be able to buy because of it too expensive. But again, at the same time, we are going to have a problem in our economy overall, but because now we're going to look for other ways of selling our products. So there's going to be issue with exports and imports. So we saw not too long ago the Bank of Zambia increasing the reserve ratio, which is going to affect the cost of borrowing. But even that has not really helped the dollar to come down. So what we have seen here is a worrisome situation going forward. So people should protect their cash flows at all costs. But because now is not the time to overspend, it's not the time to go and do party after party because the cost of living is up. It's about 9,000 as we speak. So things
Mm.
are really, really bad, Stephanie. So we need people to understand where to put their monies and what to do and what not to do in this situation. Today, the cost of
Mm.
fuel pump price is going to go up. What that means, it means that a lot of people are going to be affected in terms of prices. So a lot of essential commodities will go up today. As soon as the ERB announces the new prices, we are going to see differences in palm prices. So we're looking at a very bad economic situation in February. And I really hope that our people are going to use their monies wisely and put into vehicles that are going to save them a purpose.
But yeah. So what does it mean when we talk about leveraging human capital?
Yes, so now as we begin to discuss today's topic, and it's important that people understand that in this weakening economy, we have to do
Mm.
whatever we can to be able to leverage our human capital. All right. Now, leveraging your human capital is one way that may be able to help you to stand out, both at a place of work or as a business leader, but also as an employee. So, to begin with, I would like to define what is human capital. And a lot of people have got so much value in them, Stephanie. A lot of people have got so much knowledge, so much capital in them, but they don't know it because very few people in this world understand what human capital truly is. So they are being underpaid, they are being underutilized, they are being overused, and people are being mistreated and abused, but because they do not know their human capital, either at a place of work, but also in business. So now, when you are an employee, to start with, what is human capital to you? So we're going to talk about it from two perspectives, from the employee point of view and from the business leader's point of view. So as an employee, when we say how can you stand out, first of all, you have to leverage human capital. Now, to leverage simply means to use something to your advantage. All right. Now, the term human capital, Stephanie, refers to the economic value of a worker's experience and skills. All right. So when you're an employee and you begin to look at the economic value of your experience, all right, and the economic value of your skills, that is what we refer to as human capital. So human capital may include assets like education, the training, your intelligence, skills, health, and other things employers value, such as loyalty and punctuality. Now, why are these things important for an employee to understand? A lot of employees right now, they have the experience, they have the skills, they have the education, they have the necessary training, and they are smart here. All right, they have good skills and they are fit, they are healthy, they are not always sick. All right, but they are being underpaid. Why? Because they have not leveraged their human capital. They have not shown the employer that their human capital matters. So the employer keeps on paying them less and less and less up until they grow old. They get a peanut for pension. They go to the farm and then they start suffering, troubling their kids for help, and now begin to fight with their in-laws. But because they did not utilize their human capital when they should have done so. So to start with, Stephanie, I want to make it categorically clear here that every human being has got something special about them. And employers look for that special thing in people. All right, now, let me just put it this way. As an employee, how do you leverage human capital to stand out? All right, remember what we said. We said it may include training. Now, training comes into different forms. It could be training because you attended a workshop, or it could be training because you did a short course. Those are also trainings. So when you do a short course or you do some sort of training, can you attach that training to your CV and make sure your employer knows that now you've acquired a new qualification? So if you're at a place of work where you're working, maybe you're working as a salesperson, you're working as a whatever it is that you're working, and then you're doing some short courses. Every time you acquire a short course, attach it to your CV and talk to your employer about it. So the employer can know that now you become more knowledgeable and you become more valuable to the business. But at the same time, utilize your intelligence. This is what people don't negotiate, especially when they're doing job interviews. They don't talk about how intelligent they are, how skillful they are, how they're able to come up with reason solutions to problems in a real life situation. People don't talk about their intelligence. They just say, you know what, I can accept anything, but tell us about yourself. They talk about I have a degree. No, it's not about a degree. All right, human capital has got nothing to do with a degree. It has got to do with additional knowledge that you've acquired, experience, your personal intelligence, even your health. If you are fit, that is capital. Can you make that one known to your employer? And you tell them, what I'm fit. I'm going to work under pressure. I'm going to work longer hours. I'm going to do ABCD. This is human capital. So you want to leverage your human capital to stand out. Now, other things that employers may value also, apart from training, intelligence, skills, and health, is also punctuality. If you know you're a punctual person, you keep time, you report work on time, leverage that. Talk to your employer about it. Let your employer know that you value your job and this is why you come on time. You want to negotiate for a pay rise, leverage your human capital. You want a promotion, leverage your human capital. And human capital, right, is something that even if somebody does not like you, they can't ignore it because it's extremely visible. So when you're creating your personal balance sheet, Stephanie, you must include your human capital. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit how to calculate a human capital. All right, each person can calculate their human capital and add it to their balance sheet, and they can leverage this human capital to negotiate for either a pay rise or to stand out at a place of work. Now, human capital, Stephanie, is perceived to increase productivity and thus profitability. This is why employers respect it. Somebody who has no human capital can't be paid the same as you. This is why you see we have two accountants. They are doing the same job. One accountant is being paid 101,000. One accountant is being paid 30,000. What is the problem here? They are both having the same qualification. They are both chartered accountants. They both went to the same school. They both graduated in the same year. But why is this other one getting more money than the other one? Because the other one has leveraged their human capital very well. Right? So human capital is perceived to increase productivity and profitability. So the employer values an employee who has a higher human capital because they're going to see that it's going to be more productive, which helps the business to become more profitable. So the more investment a company makes in its employees, the chance of its productivity and success become higher. So you see employers will say, let's have a seminar, let's have a workshop, let's have an end of year a function to reflect on things. They want to teach the employee to equip them with skills that are going to help the business to move forward. Now, some employees stand out because they take this issue personal. They do it personally. They don't wait for the employer to organize a training for them. They don't do that. Some employees, what they do, they begin to do short courses on their own. And life has been easier nowadays, Stephanie. Anybody can improve on something. You can take a short course on a different platforms for 2 weeks, for 1 week, for 3 months. It's important to have these small documents on your CV because they show that you have some value, and when you negotiate for a pay rise, your employer will not deny you because they will see what value you bring to the table. So having a degree alone is not enough. All right. Now let's make it very clear here. When we say all of us have got some value, even self-esteem is part of your human capital. People who are less confident usually get peanuts because they are less confident. They don't look at themselves as people who deserve better. They don't think that they can be given a 101,000. I have a friend, Stephanie. He gets 101,000 every single month. He has qualification as me and as a similar friend as everyone else. But why does this guy get so much money? It's because he's built his human capital so well that the employer has no choice but to pay him extremely well. But there are other employees in the same company with the same qualification, they're getting 10,000 kwacha every month. Why? They have not leveraged their human capital. So don't focus on a degree alone. It will not save you well. Focus on nurturing your skills. Now, what about somebody who's not educated, Stephanie? Say, how do you leverage your human capital? I started doing my online work for accountants. I wasn't one of the greatest lecturers. I wasn't this celebrated. People did not talk about me the way they talk about me now. Right? I knew I could explain things to people, but I wasn't as good as I am today. So today I've nurtured that skill of teaching. I've mastered the art. And every time I stand in front of students, they say, hey, sir, I wish I met you last year. I wish I met you last year. I can see my life changing. Do you know why? Because I have improved on that skill. So having a qualification alone is not enough to become valuable. So what I've done a few other courses. For example, I've done financial analysis. I am now a certified financial analyst. That is improving my skill, right? But again, I've come to learn new ways of explaining things to people and to my clients and to my students. So leveraging human capital means take it upon yourself to improve your skill. If you're a baker, what are you going to do different for me to come and buy your scones? If you're a cook, what are you going to cook different for me to come and eat from your restaurant? Right? If you're a tailor, what are you going to do different for me to come and bring my materials to help me make some clothing for me? So leveraging human capital means you take it upon yourself to become great at what you do. All right? Not put the qualification aside. If you're a baker, leverage human capital. And I'm going to give you an example of a guy. His name was Taylor Tukuta. All right? This guy started as a cameraman, and people laughed at him. They say, hey, meno, and stuff like that, right? But with time, this guy became so great that even if you don't like him, you can't ignore him because his work became so good that even those that don't like him wish he took their pictures. That's how great Chela became. And what happened later on? He became the presidential photographer. Does he have a master's degree in photography? No. What has he done? He has improved his value by utilizing his human capital. He has leveraged his skills. He has worked so hard to become one of the best photographers in Africa and one of the best in the world. If this guy has been to high-profile meetings, UN, name it, why hasn't been? But is he a doctor? Is he Dr. Chela? No, he's not doctor. He's just a guy who loves what he does, and he has brought so much respect to the field of photography in this country. Every photographer in this country today, Stephanie, has been inspired by Chela Tukuta. Even those that will trash him, There are people who have been inspired by him because he attached respect to photography. Before Chela, we simply called them cameramen. But when Chela came on the scene, he showed us that light can be manipulated and create masterpieces. So he has come to understand the science of light. He's gone to universities. He's gone to Nigeria. He's lectured in high-profile universities. He's taught people photography. He's not a professor. What has he done? He has mastered the art of photography. He has understood the science of light and he's utilized it to his advantage. He became a brilliant photographer. And today, where is this guy? He's in Brazil as a diplomat. Is he very educated? No. But what has made him to stand before kings is because he mastered this skill, he nurtured it, and he used it to his advantage. Even if you don't like him, you can't trash his work because his works speak for themselves. All right. So that's what you should be able to focus on as an employee. What is it that I can do better? Stop focusing on the employer liking you. No. The employer does not really have to like you, but the employer has got to like what you do. That's the only reason to make the employer you more. So stop searching for the employer's love and affection. No, it's not your dad. All right. It's your employer. The relationship that you have with your employer is purely value addition. So it's about the value that you add that will force the employer, even though they don't like you, but they want to keep you because they see the value you bring to the table. So a lot of us have not utilized our human capital. A lot of us have not utilized our skills. A lot of us have not nurtured something to become so great at it so that somebody can remember you for something. If you think about Chela photography, you think Chela in this country. Every other photographer that has come after Chela, they are inspired by this man. This is a fact, Stefan. We have seen how this man has become so big. Another good example I can give you, somebody who has utilized their value is Ben Lombe. Another guy who has mastered, his field. Every other salon in this country, if you go to Ben Lombe, you're going to say, no, we have seen presidents go to Ben Lombe. We have seen the first lady and the vice president. We have seen different other people go to his salon. Why? Is he a professor? No. Does he have a degree? No. All right? But why is he having so high profile clients go to him? Because he has mastered the art. He has nurtured this. He has worked so hard to become great at what he does. Such that even though you don't like him, you can't trash his works. You will go to his work and you're going to do what he does. So we have to learn from these people. People that have made it, people that have nurtured their skills and they've become great. This is why if you go to Benom, you will not pay him 2 kwacha. If you go to Chela to take pictures on your wedding or anything that you're doing, you will not pay him 2 kwacha. Because he has mastered the art. You can simply see the value which he brings to the table and takes his pictures. So he has invested in his equipment. So as a person, what are you doing about your skills? Are you willing to spend money to invest in yourself to increase your value? All right. So these are the questions we have to be thinking at the place of work because you want to stand out, but it's your job to invest in yourself to stand out, not the employer. The employer does not care one bit whether you go to school or you don't. All right? As long as you can do what you're doing at the moment, the employer is okay. So it's up to you to say, what can I do to stand out at the place of work? If there was a promotion, how can I grab it? Be able to see the promotion coming. Do something about it. Be prepared for the promotion. Do what you're supposed to do to qualify. Get education. Nurture your skills, become great at what you're good. If you are a baker, be the best baker in town. If you are a teacher, be the best teacher in town. If you are a salesman, be the best salesman. If you're a photographer, be the best photographer. That is the only way, Stephanie, you are going to stand out. Now, I want to give you something as a bonus. How do you calculate your human capital? So human capital can also be calculated. All right? This also shows your behavior. Now, let me give you a calculation here. Let me give you a simple calculation of how one can calculate their human capital. And maybe I can use you, Stephanie. I can use you to work out, human capital, but because it's extremely important that people even also know how to work out their human capital. Lots of people don't even know how to work out their human capital. If you ask me what is the value of human capital, I know the value of my human capital. Do you know the value of the human capital? So this is what I would like to simply bring to the table, and maybe just just show you. I'm going to just show just a simple illustration here to simply give an example. I hope you'll be able to see it. Let me show a few calculations here just to show how one can calculate their human capital. So maybe Stephanie, we could use your help. Okay. So
Okay.
human capital as a formula that we use to work it out. So please tell me if you can see my screen. Okay, so human capital as a formula that we can use to work it out. So all we have to do human capital, we're going to get the annual savings.
Zoom it a little bit.
I zoom it a bit. Okay, good. Okay, something like that. Okay, fantastic. So is that okay? Is it visible?
It is, yeah, it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something like that. Okay, I'm gonna say human capital. Okay, so that somebody can know how to work out the human capital. Human capital also can be converted into savings. So how do you know your value as a person? So you can put this on your balance sheet, or like your personal balance sheet, not the company balance sheet. So human capital is equal to annual savings. How much do you save in a month? So for example, Stefan, how much do you save in a month? What's your saving like in a month?
I think every month I save like a 500.
Okay, so I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna say, okay, Stefan is saving about 500 every month. At what interest?
Interest.
What interest do you say that?
Just 7 basically with the 52-week money challenge. So there's no interest per se.
All right. Okay. So now, so now we advise if you want to save money, put in an account that earns interest, because when you're just keeping money with time, that money is going to lose value. So now, I'm gonna say, because most saving people that save usually they put something like maybe 10%. If there's somebody who wants to know the human capital, give me a comment. Tell me how much you are saving and what is the interest rate. Then I'm gonna work out human capital. So I'm gonna just give you 10% interest, Stephanie, for learning purposes. And I'm gonna ask you, what is your age? How old are you?
Right. I'm 24.
You are 24. Fantastic. Okay, good. So you are 24. So at 24 years old, today, your human capital, Stephanie, is about 4,492.37. So that is your human capital as at today. Okay. So now that's how much. That's how that is your human capital as at now. So what does this mean? This means that you need to up your game, because at 24 you are below the required threshold in terms of your human capital. So this is how you can also know where you're moving. So at 24, for example, your human capital should be a little bit more higher than 4,492 kwacha, right? Your human capital should be at least above your age. So you are way below your age. So this means that you need to up your game so that you can, surpass 24. When you're 24 years old, you shouldn't have savings less than 24,000. So every single time, your age is important. If you are 45, you shouldn't have money less than your age. It's not a good thing. So your human capital also shows at your age where you are. So imagine if your human capital is 4,492, why would somebody pay you 50,000, Stephanie? Tell me. Why would an employer pay 50,000? Because your personal human capital is not 50,000. Your human capital is 4,000. And now, how do you negotiate for 50,000 when you go for a job interview? It becomes very hard. You see that it becomes difficult because on your own, your human capital is not even equal to 50,000. So how does an employer pay you a 50,000 kwacha? It won't work. So it's extremely important to understand your human capital, so that even when you're negotiating for a pay, or you want to stand out, you can you know what, for now I'm valuable, I'm worth this.
We could actually be having a network jam with Mr. Lusambo there, who's definitely giving an illustration on the other side. You might want to comment on 07716162290. Are you back, Mr. Lusambo?
Yes, I was, but I've been able to hear you the whole time. You lost
okay,
me?
okay. Yes, I thought I lost you on the other side.
Okay, so now we have Kondwani here. So let's work with Kondwani. So Stephanie, there we see we need to do some improvement. Now let's go to Kondwani. Kondwani is 26. Kondwani is 26, and Kondwani saves 750 a month. So Kondwani, what is the interest that you save at in a month? Tell me, are you putting it in a bank or what interest? So the recommended rate we use is 10%. Okay, but people save on different interests. So Kondwani is 750 today, and Kondwani is 26 years old. 10%. Kondwani human capital is 6,870.71. So Kondwani is 6870. What that means? It means Kondwani need to up your game, because even if you went for a job interview, Kondwani, if somebody gave you a 7,000 kwacha, you will take it. You'll be very happy with 7,000 kwacha, but because your overall human capital is below 7,000 kwacha. So anything above human capital, you're going to be happy with it. So your saving also give you an idea of how much you are worth and how much you can be paid if you go for a job interview. So you have to make sure when you are 26, don't have a savings less than your age. It's extremely important that the human capital is above your age every single time. But that way it will give you some stability in terms of negotiating for a better pay in the job interview, but also just to know what you're worth. You're going to know what to accept and what not to accept. But because at this point, Kondwani, you are in problem. You are in trouble. Any problem above 10,000 kwacha will make you bankrupt. So any problem above 10,000 is going to make you bankrupt. So make sure your human capital is equal or above your age. And thank you very much. But again, remember, I'm using a 10%, which is the minimum amount of interest. In some institutions, people will save at 16%, people will save at 21%, people will save at 18%, depending on the type of investment vehicle you're using. So it's important to know your human capital and to see the need to improve. So Kondwani needs to improve, because Kondwani currently you are doing very well. 750 every month, 750 in savings is such a very good saving, to be honest. Very few people can save that, but we are advising you to keep going, keep improving your financial muscle so that you can become, you can have a human capital above your age. That will be very good. So that means, Kondwani, you have a lot of work to do. You need to keep to up your game in terms of saving. But for now, I want to commend you, Kondwani. What you have done is extremely fantastic. Very few people at the age of 26 are able to save 750 every month. I can assure you there are very few people. So what you have done is commendable, Kondwani. Please keep up the good work. But we encourage you, just like we told Stephanie, to up your game so that you can improve your human capital. Now tell me, Kondwani, if you are 6,870, why should somebody pay you 50,000 kwacha? Why? So nobody's going to pay you 50,000 kwacha, because you are not equal, you are not even anywhere near that amount of money. So you have to improve your value. So I think as you negotiate for a better pay, you know your worth. It's extremely important to understand this. This is why most of people miss it. They want to get a higher pay, but they have not really done much to improve themselves and to increase their human capital. All right. So it's extremely important that you leverage your human capital as an employee, but also as a business leader. And I'm loving the response we are getting from our audience. Please, people, share the video and give us a call. Let us know how you are finding this information. Or if you want to know human capital, you can give us a comment. We want to work it out for you and show you what you need to do to up your game so that you can. Now let me also show you how this one helps you. Let's say you're at the age of 26. Okay, so at the age of 26, here's what one must be able to say. Let me show you. So now, if we go here, okay, if we come somewhere here, so at the age of 26, Kondwani may save something like this. Okay, okay. So at the age of 26, let me do something like this for now. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Let me bring this to just show Kondwani what is expected of Kondwani to put at the age of 26. Something that can add a bit more of stamina to Kondwani's human capital. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do that. So you see, so if I come here, I'm looking at the age of 26 years old. So at the age of 26. At the age of 26, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Actually, you are doing very well. You are doing very well at your age. That's recommendable. Very well. So let's see, 26. So at 26 years old, annually, Kondwani should go to be making about 76,813 kwacha today. Zambian kwacha at the age of 26, Kondwani. That's the amount of money you need to be making annually. Yeah, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. This is what I'm saying. Kondwani is not so bad because Kondwani has done very well. So at the age of 36, if you got your saving, also if you are saving for retirement, Kondwani, you should be able to save about 3,600 kwacha. Yeah. So I'm looking at the age of 26, and you can save this for about 24 years. So that when you are old, you retire with a big amount of money, about 1 point something million kwacha. So you can see your age also determines how much money you need to save. So, but I'm not going to explain in details. You may not make sense of these numbers, or just wanting to give Kondwani your goal. At your age of 26, at least you aim to save at least 3,600 at your age. Aim to save 3,600. So you're supposed to look for ways of how you can improve your finances so that you can begin to reach that target. It's possible, Kondwani. It's not impossible. It's very much possible you can attain that level. Thank you very much for sharing your information. I'm very grateful, Kondwani, for coming through. And
We do have a text message from Lolelanji, and Lolelanji here is asking, what is the best way of saving, Mr. Lusambo? Lolelanji from Kabanana.
Okay, so the best way of saving is not to do what Stefan does. What Stefan does keep our money every week. She does not add any interest. So what's going to happen in December? That money is going to lose value. So Stefan is putting 500 squats every week. But she's doing very well right now. So right now Stefan is doing fantastic. But the problem with Stefan that inflation is putting her down. Things in the market are going up every single day. All right. The price of goods and services are going up. Today, fuel is going to go up. Stefan is not earning any interest on her savings. So our money just dormant, stagnant. So by December, the money she will save will not be able to buy the same thing she could have bought if she used that money today because of time value of money. So the best way to save is to find a vehicle that attaches an interest rate to your savings. For example, don't put money in a checking account, like your salary account or the transaction account. No, find an investment account where you can put your money to earn even something that beats inflation. For example, people are putting money into trust funds, unit trusts, investment trusts, and also you can put money in government bonds as a way of saving, so that the bond can help you beat inflation. All right, you can put your money even in stocks, whatever it is that beats inflation. So always save your money in way that helps you reduce the inflation. This is what the banks do when they give you a loan. Banks give you an interest rate because they understand that with time money will lose value. So they charge you interest so that you also pay for inflation, the loss of value in that money you're saving. So don't just save money by putting it in a bank account that you just open that does not save any, and that doesn't give you any interest. You are losing out. The bank is charging you bank charges, and also inflation is reducing the value of your money. But before you know it, hey, your money has lost value. So even if you had 100,000 at the end of the year, still would have lost money because of inflation. So Stephanie, you have to find a vehicle that's going to be adding interest in those savings. So you can give yourself a 52-week money challenge. That's commendable. I highly recommend that. Everybody must do that. But find a vehicle that you're going to be posting those monies. Now I can give you an idea. You can use Airtel Patumba. That's what I do. I use Airtel Patumba. I'm not advertising for Airtel. I'm just telling you, I use Airtel Patumba. Airtel Patumba, if you put 100 kwacha in an investment account or 200 kwacha, whatever it is, every week you're putting something, every week Airtel gives you interest. Have you seen? That is another smart way of doing the 52-week money challenge. Don't just keep money. Put in Airtel Patumba and choose investment account. So that your money by the end of the year should have had some interest to help you beat inflation. That's what I do. I have Airtel Patumba account. So you can be putting 50 kwacha, 100 kwacha, and something like that. I hope I've answered the question from Rolanji.
This is Money FM Radio, and of course, you can also be like Lolelanji, come through and call us on 07716169290. We're looking at being the best of yourself, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's at home, whether it's in a business. You need to be the best, of course. You need to stand out. So tell us what your challenge has been. And of course, on the topic that we are discussing now, what is your peak out? And of course, in what area do you want to stretch? Of course, I need to put my money somewhere. Of course, that's for me. But for you, How has it been? Are you able to save? Are you able to save even something? Or are you not being the best of you? Or what's your challenge? 07716169290. Do call us right now. We'll definitely do attend to that question that you have.
That'd be fantastic. So people give us a call. Tell us if you've managed to save. Can you call us? Give us what you've done. How have you managed to save? If you're having problems, what's the problem? Give us a call right now. Let's address your problem. We still have some minutes so that we can talk to you and help you at a place to level. So give us a call at the number that is scrolling on your screen. Stephanie, may you just please say the number again so that I can just write a message. It's
07716 We want to know from you, what has been your
Okay, so
biggest challenge in being the best of yourself? We
okay,
do
fantastic.
have
So
Suwilanji. Looks more like Lolelanji. All right. This one is Suwilanji saying, good morning. I save 250 every day. Oh, all right. This was just telling us how much they save initially.
you got 250 every day. So if you do 250, so what she's saying she saves 250 on a daily basis, and then you multiply that by 12 by 30. All right. If she saves 250 every day, you multiply that one by 30. Let's work out a human capital. I think she wants to know a human capital, right? I think
Maybe
she wants to know a human capital. That's my assumption. So she says she saves about 250 every day. So let's come here. Let's do the 250 on a daily basis. So what she says? She says she saves 250, all right, on a daily basis. And then if you multiply this one by 30, what you're going to have this one, of course. You multiply by 30, you're going to have 7,500. And then this one by 12, right? What you're going to have now here, we are going to have this guy, of course, we multiply by 12 months in a year, which means she saves about 90,000 every year. Now, to work out a human capital, if you come here, annual savings 90,000, all right? How old is she? We don't have the age. It would be nice to know the age. Unfortunately, we can't do human capital. We need to know your age. We need to know your age. And
if you're
and,
listening
and
to us, Suwilanji, do put your age so that we can work
okay.
out your human capital.
Okay, tell us your age. So we learn this so that we can know you. We can help you work out your human capital. That looks like a very good saving to do. She saves a lot of money on a yearly basis. That's a lot of money. 90,000 is quite amazing, and a human capital is very good. So a person like Suwilanji will not get a job that pays something very less because they understand their human capital. They are going to negotiate for a better because they know they're not in a hurry. If your human capital is low, you are desperate, you are in a hurry, you accept anything. But again, the other way to stand out, Stephen, not just about human capital, but also about personal behavior at a place of work. The employers, they appreciate good behavior. For example, how do you work with other team members? Are you somebody who is able to work in harmony with other team members? At a place of work, there are people who learn faster than others, just like in your home, Stephanie. Some children need more attention than others. So how do you ensure that you work in harmony with other employees at a place of work? So if you have a team member who is slow at what they do, can you help them to improve without making them feel like they're useless? Can you help a team member to become better without making them feel like they are incompetent, like they are not good enough, like they don't belong in a company where you work? Have you seen? So also standing out means be good to other people. Work in harmony with other workers. Don't be a Muzungan Konde kind of an employee because that will not make you stand out. That will make you a traitor. That will make you disliked by your fellow employees. So at a place of work, remember that you are there to work and earn a salary and improve your skills and of course add value to your employer. You don't have to do it at the expense of your friend. There is so much space for all of us to shine at a place of work. You don't have to shine by stepping on the toes of another person. So if you are an employee, don't become liked by your employer by demoralizing the other employee. All right. So remember, standing out does not just mean you work hard, you go to school, you improve. No, standing out also means how do you treat other people at a place of work? Are you a honest person at a place of work? How do you execute your duties? Do you finish on time? Are you punctual? Do you complain when there's overtime? What kind of an employee are you? And I'm going to tell you something, Stefan. I had a rare privilege in my life I have a rare vantage point of seeing how people get promoted because at some point I was able to sit on a board and that the authority to employ people and fire people. when we are elevating somebody, there are lots of people who elevated Stephanie that were not even qualified. But we looked at their maturity, we looked at their behavior, we looked at how responsible they are at a place of work. How do they relate with other co-workers? And some people are elevated based on their conduct, not their qualification. So sometimes you stand out at a place of work not because you are very qualified, but because you've shown the employer that you are mature, you can be trusted, you can be given some duty to do, and the employer will not have to worry about supervising you. You've shown that you care not just about yourself, but also about other people at the place of work. Those are the qualities that the employer will look for when they want to elevate somebody. Why should we make a manager? Why should we make you a manager if you're childish? You're not going to become a manager simply because you have a degree or you have a master's. No. There are things that are more important than a degree and a master's degree, and that is your personal conduct. Your personal conduct is important at a place of work if you want to stand out. Treat other people with respect. Don't be a Mzungu and Konde. For me, as an employer, at the time I worked at a higher position, I always appreciated people who were just themselves. People did not want to impress me for anything. People just knew how to do their work. I always loved such kind of people because I didn't have to feel like I owe them anything. When you are doing Mzungu and Konde, also putting the pressure on the employer, it's not a good thing. All right, you're making me feel uncomfortable by trying to impress me. I don't want you to impress me. I want you to do the job that I employed you to do. Stop working so hard to impress me. If you want to impress me, do a great job. That's the only way you're going to impress me. Don't come and talk bad things about the other employee. That's not the way to impress your boss. So at a place of work as an employee, can you be a good team worker? Work together as a team so that you can be able to help another person to come up and also become better. But also as a business leader, how do you stand out? Now, when you are the boss, you have to understand that people work for you are not your children. People work for you have got families. People work for you are parents. Some of them may even be more wiser than you, more educated than you, and even more richer than you. There are people who've got the money, Stephen, but they're still working because they love to work. So when you are a business leader, all right, maybe you are the CEO, you are the manager, you are the supervisor, whatever it is that you are, can you recognize that these people work for you are your silent partners? They are not your slaves. Treat them with respect. Show an interest in what they do. I'm going to tell you what Ms. Ngameru once said. I'll never forget. That's the day I followed her page. What made me follow Ms. Ngameru's page? I watched an interview. She featured on Mr. Tambara of Simon Mwale went to our office, and then she was asked a question. So that's some years back. She was told, how do you look amazing, you exercise, and you are working. So how do you manage to do this amazing job? You know what she said? She said, I think I do what I do because I have a great team. When she said that, I clicked the follow button because I knew I'm following somebody I can learn something valuable from. She did not take the credit. She said, I work with a great team. So she gave credit to her team, not to herself. And because she did that, many of us fell in love with Ms. Ngameru. So, you know what? This is amazing, all right? You need a leader who is able to recognize the input of her staff. And she did that publicly. She says, you know what? I think I stand out because I have a great team. I have such an amazing team. I have a supportive staff. So she appreciated her staff and she gave them credit. So even the staff were motivated. You can see how she's performing. Our bank is #1 bank in Zambia, brought before tax. Do you know why? She says she has a great team, which means she's a great leader. A great leader will nurture a great team. So how do you stand out as a business leader? All right. Can you show a legitimate interest in your employees? We saw not too long ago how ABSA was able to reward their employees, their hardworking employees, with brand new vehicles. That is showing a legitimate interest in what your employees do. All right. So it's extremely important to show that. And we've seen more often than not, Ms. Ngameru post employees on a Facebook page. Here is our director, banker, something. Here is our something. So that she's also making them feel special. So when you are the employer, when you are the business leader, you're the CEO, the manager, you have to remember that, alone you can't stand out. You have to stand out with your team. So can you show them some interest? If they are sick, look at them, ask them, how can I help you? Okay. Sometimes help them without cutting from their salaries. There are some very greedy employers out there, Stefan. They can't give you a simple help. They have to cut from your salary. That's bad. All right, that's terrible. So if you have employees and they are having problems, sometimes just help without having to cut from their salary. If you can afford to help them. All All right. And some employers, what are they going to do? They're going to also organize some trainings for you to be able to feel that you are progressing career-wise. So standing out people has got to do with a lot of factors. It could be education, it could be how you treat people, it could be personal behavior, it could be how you carry yourself, it could be how you talk to people, how you handle challenges, how do you deal with the criticism? Because sometimes you're going to be criticized at the place of it by your boss or by your fellow employee. How do you respond? How do you handle criticism? That also helps you to stand out. When you handle criticism very well, it helps you to stand out. All right. Even sometimes when you're dealing with challenging clients, that's another thing I learned from Ms. Ngamil. One time she told me that, you know what, Shadrick, don't call customers difficult clients. They don't like it. It's better you address them as challenging clients. So I'm going to say, if you're dealing with challenging clients, sometimes clients can be challenging. All right, they may push you to your limit and you just want to bet and just shout at them. But now, how do you deal with them? So how you deal with that pressure from challenging clients can also make you stand out. Because when they are on their own, they will say, you know what, this guy is calm. No, I think I overreacted, but he handled me so well. So it's important to understand the standing out has to do with every area of your life. Take yourself on a tour and check yourself, your behavior, your qualifications, your conduct. And if you can go and watch a musician perform, Stephanie, at night, all right? You got, 2 days ago, we saw a musician was launching his album, and the whole audience was filled with a lot of people. People spend so much money to go and watch a musician. So if you can pay 500 kwacha to watch a musician who is singing a song that you can download for 5 kwacha and just watch it at home or listen to it anytime you like and replay it or download it and keep playing it using any bundle, then you can pay for your school. Then you can invest in bonds, in stocks, or in other business. Then you can sell for yourself and improve your human capital. Because if you're able to pay 500 to watch a musician, watching him sing a song that you've already listened to, all right, then you go and pay 100 kwacha. Why can't you save for yourself? Then you can sell for yourself. So these are the small things that people don't pay attention. And I'm going to give you the power of saving small. Here's the issue again. At 21-year-old today, all right, at 21-year-old today, Stephanie, if they want to retire happily, this is just the power of saving small. So if you are a 21-year-old today, all right, so let me give you this one, Stephanie. So if you are a 21-year-old today, for example, in this country, and you want to retire a millionaire, let me show you how 100 kwacha, Stephanie, can improve your human capital and become such a powerful 21-year-old. Now, somebody at 21 years old, Stephanie, okay, here's what they can save. I'm going to show you somebody who's 21 years old, for example, today in this country. A 21 year old today can save at 21 years old today. If you are 21 years old, here's what you can save to go to a million. See, if you are 21 years old, you can prepare for retirement and just save 100 kwacha per month. And it goes up to the age of 49 years old. You're going to have something about 1.2 million in your account. I'm assuming an interest rate of 10% annually. All right. So you can imagine a small saving of 100 kwacha for yourself every month. When you're going to be 49 years old, you're going to be a very, very comfortable 21-year-old. Now, how many people spend 100 kwacha on a daily basis, Stephanie? People spend so much money on a daily basis, more than 100 kwacha. But now, here on retirement, a 21-year-old can save 100 kwacha every month. So 1,200 every year for your retirement. By the time you're going to be 49 years old, a 21-year-old would have accumulated a lot of money so much they won't believe it. So we don't really see how we can improve our value because we like to spend so much on non-essential factors. Like I'm saying, entertainment is important, but if you can pay 500 and 1,000 to go and watch somebody sing a song that you've watched on YouTube, but you can pay 5 kwacha to download, why can't you save for yourself the same 1,000 kwacha? Then you can save for yourself and avoid stress. Because looking at somebody who's 21 years old, Stephanie, can save 100 kwacha per month in a year, 1,200. And by the time they'll be 49 years old, see how much money they're going to have. They're going to have a lot of money, they don't even believe it. So these are some of the things that we need to focus on to improve our human capital. Sometimes to improve your value, you need to have a saving as well. Save for yourself, right? So that you can increase your value. It's important to save for yourself. That improves your value. It also helps you to become more sober when you're negotiating for business deals. Yeah.
Definitely. Mr. Luciano, I think time does not really seem to be our best ally. I guess we should end our conversation here. We might reach to 1 or 3 comments, and then I think we should call it a day.
All right, so here we have a comment from Kondwan who says, I have been doing my restaurant business for 8 months now and no upgrade has been seen so far. Am I supposed to change the business or need to upgrade on my capital? Fantastic. Like we said, okay, why isn't there growth in your business? Because 8 months is a long period of time. Now you've learned how to do things. You've also learned how not to do things. You've learned how to cut a chicken into 21 pieces. You've learned how to use cooking or you've learned how to use salt. So what is it that's making you to grow up, right? So you need to scale up. Now, why are you not scaling up? Now, those are some of the things we need to talk about. I think in our next session, hopefully you'll be available on Duane. Unfortunately, we don't have much time to go to give you a comprehensive solution to your problem. We help people scale up. Kondwani. We can help you scale up your business and also help you identify. Maybe you are at a long location. You're at the wrong location, maybe. Your location is competitive. There are too many people eating each other from different businesses. So you need to have a strategic location where maybe you are the only one or you are one of the few people who are there. But then we wish to answer this one in our next session so that we can be able to, to give you a comprehensive solution. So, friends, those who came through and asked our comments and questions, we are very grateful for your support. Thank you so much. We've seen your response and your feedback. We'll keep reading through the comments as we go. Over to you, Stephanie.
It's been a very good show for the day. Of course, every weekday we do have accounting and business, and today we're looking at how to stand out in your field, whether it's at work, whether you're into business and stuff like that. So, of course, this is Money FM Radio 93.7. Keep it locked on.
Sure. Thank you so much.